What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Muscle Goku the Goon.
What's going on? It's your boy Dylan.
And this is Jump Shot Therapy. What episode is this, man? Five?
Five.
Five? Yeah, five.
I think it's five.
So this episode, surprisingly, we're not going to talk hoops today, man.
Yeah, we're going from jump shot therapy to fucking route running therapy. It's football season, full effect, baby.
I don't know shit about football, so this is going to be Dylan's stream. I'm just going to ask the questions like my boy Taz Malice on NBA TV. But first, I want to talk about some UFC stuff, man.
Yes, UFC 227 was last Saturday, which was, as of today, like 5 days ago. It's recording on a Thursday as opposed to Saturday. Switching up a little bit for you guys. But yeah, we watched UFC 227 last Saturday. It was a hell of a real good fighting event. Starting off, they had Thiago Santos versus Kevin Holland.
Dude,
that boy Kevin Holland,
he's gonna be nice.
I looking at his looking for fight tapes that they were showing. He looked like a complete bum.
He was. I'm like, yo, we were both like, this is gonna end in the first round.
He's gonna get his ass whooped because Thiago Santos is chiseled like a fucking god.
Yeah,
he is a statue of a man, just a perfect muscle cut, tonnage, and all that stuff. But Kevin Holland, even though he got his ass beat, he didn't get his ass beat.
He didn't get his ass beat.
A decision, 3-round decision. He still performed. And he's going to have a very long career. He had a hell of a fight against a ranked fighter. Yeah. So that's always going to look good for him competing that way.
Yeah, like that first 45 seconds, I looked at Dylan, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what this the fuck is this guy doing? He pulled him into his guard in the first round with ease. You can't pull somebody into your guard like that. Like, you found out he's a brown belt jiu-jitsu. Where the fuck did that come from? He does not look like it. He does not look like he came because he was coming to the octagon just like super loose and just rapping and dancing. I'm like, man, this kid's an asshole. Fuck him. But I slowly became a fan of Kevin Holland.
I'm definitely a fan of him
during this fight. So I'm hoping he gets a couple more ranked fights under his belt and can move forward.
I just feel like he needs more wind and he needs to work on his stand-up.
Yeah, stand up. The problem with that was he was going against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy who literally was just closing the gap. Yeah. Who was coming in close.
He had a 10-inch reach.
Yeah, 10-inch reach, but the way to attack someone with reach is just rush him in. Just get inside. Don't let him extend. If he extends, he could hit you at full strength. Yeah. But he had a game plan for that, but it was gonna be a jiu-jitsu fight, and it turned out to be on the ground for the most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time.
But
most of the time he was on his guard too.
Thiago Santos was brutalizing him when he was in his guard, though. Yeah. So didn't he almost get like an omoplata on him or something? Like yes, he did it. Like tried to do a flying omoplata. And almost got it. But Thiago Santos is a ripped man who just powered through that. Who just was hammer fisting away at the poor young man in his guard. So, good for him, man. He survived with beating. His left eye had a nice little mouse underneath it too. So.
And speaking of mouse, Mighty Mouse, man.
Mighty Mouse. And I was just telling you before the pay-per-view started, I was like, I'm not sure if Demetrius Johnson is that damn good or the talent he's faced wasn't up to par. Yeah. And he's that damn good. Yeah. Henry Cejudo had a great game plan to try to wrestle Mighty Mouse down, keep him from the exchanges, and just became a counter-puncher. Yeah. The only weird part about the fight was in the first round, Cejudo rolled his ankle. Yeah,
that was weird. Twice.
Yeah,
twice in 30 seconds. That was
almost
weird.
Knocked himself out from a rolled ankle, which is extremely weird.
When we saw it, I was like, what?
I've never seen that before, but...
I thought his foot got caught in that little slice in the middle of the ring sometimes.
Yeah, at the end of the fight, he told it was just nerves and bad foot placement and all that stuff, but... Good on him. He beat DJ, who was
honestly, it felt like DJ didn't want to fight. I felt like he's very reluctant.
If you could see, if you paid attention to what DJ's strategy was was trying to kick the fuck out of him after he saw him roll his ankle. But
that dude's legs were red.
Didn't have any reach advantage, didn't have any height advantage, and was going against an Olympic wrestler. Yeah. And Cejudo,
Cejudo looked bigger than him too.
Very much so. You're allowed to put once you're done doing the weight cut, you can put the weight back on because most of the time after your weight cuts, you're fucking dehydrated anyway. So you gotta put weight back on. DJ kind of looks like he walks around that way all the time. Yeah. But
kind of like Brock Lesnar when he goes down to 265 whatever.
Yeah. And he's usually 285.
Yeah. Then when he fights, he's 285, 3. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. You have to cut down to 265 at the least.
Yeah, and then then Cormier, same thing. When he cuts down to 205, when he fights, he's easily at 250.
No, not even close. You can't put that much weight on 2 days.
He's a chubby fucker.
He's a chubby man anyway. He's 5'11". He's only 2 inches taller than me. Weighs about as much as I weigh. He's just a heavy set man. Yeah. And then when he fought Stipe at 245, which is 20 pounds under the max. Yeah. So and he still came in there and knocked homeboy out. Yeah. So like DJ's I don't know what his game plan was. Weird. Yeah. Every time he went in, he was just getting counter punched. Yeah. And then Cejudo just held him down
to the ground. Yeah.
It was a very tough fight to score, but there's no way Cejudo doesn't win that fight.
The only way DJ would have won if he knocked him out. That was it.
There's no way he would have won. He did show some killer sweeps where Cejudo took him down and he did those weird rolls that got him into the correct position to stand back up, put him down in position, which I've never seen anything like that. That's amazing. That's unbelievable how he was able to do that. But
those are going to get clean ass rolls.
He's going to get an immediate title shot.
Oh yeah.
11 straight title defenses. The only other person that doesn't say anything is Silva.
But it's 1-1 now, so they have to break it.
They have to have a trilogy fight. It doesn't. They'd be losing money. DJ already doesn't sell because he's so small. Yeah. But they need to have a third fight.
And then one more thing before I want to get into the big UFC thing. What was that football guy again? He was
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy, yo, he fucked that dude. Not even 30 seconds.
Do you see the knockout in his fight like last week, and then he had one 2 nights ago.
Yeah, that's the one with the fat guy.
The really fat dude who also played like football, but it's like Greg Hardy was like a real good defensive end in the NFL who just decided to hit women and laugh.
You know what I said? I said, damn, he hit that dude like he hit his girlfriend.
If he hit his girlfriend the way he hit that dude, that shit would have been decapitated. Greg Hardy is going to be a problem. The only problem with Greg Hardy is he needs to get some real professional fights. Not even real martial art. That dude,
so like a Brock Lesnar type.
He's raw talent. He's raw talent. He just needs to get some experience. Yeah. He just needs to get in there because if you were to throw him in there against any of the elite heavyweights, he'd get murked. Yeah. Murked.
Hell, put him up against a Hunt.
I don't know about that. Mark Hunt, that's a hard fight to say because Mark Hunt literally has one touch power. Yeah. But even still, you could beat Mark Hunt if you just take him to the ground. That's what Curtis Blades did. That's what Brock Lesnar did. Yeah. That's what everybody who's beaten Mark Hunt does is just take him to the ground. Yeah. So, Mark Hunt's almost on his way out. That dude literally doesn't even remember half his fights from all the. He's a K1 Grand Prix champion from the early 2000s, late 90s. Yeah. So he's been getting hit in the head a long time.
He's getting that Mike Tyson brain.
It's worse. He says he's already forgetting things.
Oh shit, no, that's alright.
But the finale, TJ Dillashaw, Corey Garbrandt. I told you Dillashaw was gonna win.
Dude, yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah, Dillashaw was gonna fuck this dude.
God damn. The problem with Garbrandt is every time he gets his opponents in trouble, he rushes in. Yeah. I'm not saying that's necessarily a problem all the time. But when you're fighting a fighter like TJ Dillashaw, you can't do that. He's so talented in every part of the fucking game. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It only lasts like a round, right? Half a round?
It was the first round. It was 4 minutes, 10 seconds
quick,
into the first round. Because Garbrandt rocked him. And then he came in and then got hit with a counter punch. Yeah. And
I didn't even see him fall I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I'm like, oh.
He stumbled and then I've never seen a UFC fight get stopped where the other fighter's still standing.
He's standing up, yeah.
I've never seen that.
He was knocked out standing up.
No, the only other fight I ever saw that was when Ronda knocked out Betch Correa. She knocked that bitch out standing up, and she just was like leaning forward and trying to fight. Like that's the only other time I've seen it. But Dillashaw was just teeing off on Garbrandt.
Right in that cage, yeah.
And then after the ref stops to fight Garbrandt, he's like, you gotta let that shit go. I'm like, dude.
You're getting fucked up.
You were getting destroyed. You were getting lit the fuck up. You gotta take that L and walk away. Yeah, yeah. But he did lose in a great manner. Like they talk a lot of shit. That rivalry's been going on for years. Kind of like the Dillashaw left Alpha Male.
Alpha Male, yeah. I never understood that situation until I watched it.
He left Alpha Male to go to his own, to go to another camp out in California, Colorado, one of those guys, and just left in a weird, crazy manner. But him just, he took that defeat like a champ, and I really hope for the best for Cody Garbrandt because he's a really talented dude. You get the fuck out of Dominic Cruz, and I hate him. I hate Dominic Cruz.
And then last thing we're talking about, Khabib McGregor.
Khabib is gonna get his ass whipped.
Here's my thing. I feel like from what I see from McGregor, I think, and I told you this, and you kind of agreed on me on this. I think he might be too high up in his horse since the Floyd Mayweather fight. So I think mentally he won't be there, and I feel like he might slip up.
No, I don't think so because if you know anything about Conor is a gym rat.
Yeah.
He trains year round, and I don't think he's gonna misstep because he has the instincts of a fucking champion.
Yeah.
He is gonna get ready for everything Khabib has. I don't think that fight goes past the second round. Khabib, if Khabib tries to stand up like he did in his last fight, he's going to get fucking drilled.
So I think Khabib needs to take it to the ground for him to even have a chance.
But Conor's got some of the best takedown defense I've ever seen. The only time I really seen him get taken to the ground a whole shit ton is Chad Mendes. That was 3 years ago when he won the interim belt from him. But Conor's gotten so much better. So much better.
So what if Khabib takes some boxing lessons from Diaz brothers?
The problem with the Diaz brothers is not that they are great boxers, is they just get hit a lot.
Yeah.
They literally
just eat punches.
Yeah. Nate Diaz gets the shit kicked out of him every single time he fights. Yeah. But he somehow manages to win. Yeah. He's literally a sponge. His face is a sponge. He absorbs punches like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. Those dudes, I'm not taking anything away from Nate Diaz. He's a talented fighter. Yeah. Talented boxer. Great jiu-jitsu. He's a motherfucker. Yeah. But he's one of those MMA math doesn't add up. Yeah. MMA math for him just does not add up. And it's that Conor fight. They need their third fight.
They need their
third fight.
That's why I think that's why he walked out when they announced it.
He wanted that fight. Yeah. He wasn't going to get that fight because Dana doesn't like the Diaz brothers. So.
No, wasn't his older brother's the one that got suspended for drugs, right?
Yeah, he should be back soon. They tried to give him a lifetime ban, and everybody's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? It's just weed."
Yeah. But isn't John Jones coming back soon?
John Jones is no longer allowed to fight in, I think, California. There's a lot of shit that they have to do to go through that because they still have to do a bunch of court stuff, and it was trace amounts of what he took, so they're trying to call it microdosing. But
wasn't it like a fucking water pill or some shit?
No. He took
allegedly
some type of steroid that's really used in powerlifting.
Okay.
Heavy powerlifting. But that's what he does when he's not.
Yeah, exactly. See his brother. You see fucking brother Chandler Jones literally rip off that dummy.
Yeah, but those dummies also aren't on there very hard anyway. So.
Yeah, but come on, to rip
off it's an impressive feat of strength, but those guys,
all three of the brothers.
Football, Arthur Jones is a bum. But football lifting and powerlifting are completely different. Yeah. Completely different. Because I've seen John Jones just deadlift incredible amounts of weight.
Like 405.
Yeah, he's nuts. But I can see where it's at. But that type of steroid wouldn't have helped him in the fight. Yeah. So it's like the fact that they erased that fight, I get it. Like it's cheating, but steroid wouldn't have made Cormier duck his head to the right to defend the leg kick and get hit in the head.
And the thing is, John Jones called that too. You're gonna duck and I'm gonna hit you there.
Yeah, and DC knew that was a tendency. He just fucked up and let it happen again. But I don't know. John Jones, I hope he comes back relatively soon. He will not come back to fight DC again because DC's retiring in January.
He is?
Yeah, he's retiring after his next fight. If his last fight will be in January, he'll be done. And he's in his 40s, dude.
He is.
It's time to go. He was an Olympic wrestler, Strikeforce heavyweight champion, UFC light heavyweight champion, UFC heavyweight champion. He's champ.
Yeah, might as well. Might as well let it do.
Yeah, let it go. And Jones will go up to heavyweight when he comes back because light heavyweight's a shit show right now. There's literally nobody in light heavyweight. I would love to see John Jones Stipe. I would love to see John Jones Brock. That's gonna be.
Yeah, John Jones. He can easily put. I think John Jones walking is like 225, 230.
Easily 250. Because like before his fight, like those press conferences that he had for Cormier, he was in the middle of his powerlifting stuff. He was yoked like a motherfucker. He looked like Chandler. He looked like Chandler Jones out there. So fuck that. I love John Jones. He's still
to me he's the greatest.
He's the greatest besides GSP to me.
All right, and then now go to the football side of things. Did you see any of the Hall of Fame speeches?
Yes. I saw Brian Dawkins. I saw Randy Moss. I saw Ray Lewis. And I saw T.O.
So one thing I'll talk about, just really super quick, Randy Moss, that tie. I love that tie. That was a really good thing.
That's a fire tie. Yeah. That's a nice little social statement. Yeah. Good platform to use.
Yeah, he didn't have to say anything, just said to speak for himself.
He let it speak for himself. Everybody use your platform.
Yeah, Ray Lewis, second all-time in time usage behind Brett Favre.
Yes.
He took out the podium.
Ray Lewis deserves every bit of time he got. He's the greatest middle linebacker of all time, the greatest leader of all time. Let him do whatever the fuck he wants.
And then lastly,
also a murderer.
Yeah, and then and then lastly, T.O. going to Chattanooga.
Yes.
Not going to Canton. What do you think about that?
I think he's being super petty. I get where he's coming from. I understand it. I know why he didn't go to Canton. It is what it is. I feel like he missed out on the opportunity to bask, not even just mingle, and bask in the glory of what the Hall of Fame is and what the Hall of Fame stands for. I think him missing out on the luncheon where all the Hall of Famers, past and present, go.
I think they said they spent.
Jackets,
I think they said they spent $400,000 on that event alone.
Yep. And then it's like each team that you're represented in going to the Hall of Fame throws you a party and all that stuff. And I think he missed out on those events. Will he regret it? Maybe down the line. I don't think so. He had every right to be as upset. You cannot tell the game of football without talking about Terrell Owens. No matter what way you put it, Terrell Owens is 1, 2, or 3 the greatest wide receiver of all time.
It goes Jerry Moss, T.O.
I'm in the minority where I think T.O. is better than Randy.
I think so.
It's.
I think Tom Brady played a big part of getting Randy Moss.
No, Randy is a complete animal. No matter who the quarterback was, he was going to make that quarterback look good. Randy was just a victim of his own talent. In which, like, if he played as motivated as like T.O. did, he probably would be considered the greatest wide receiver of all time, hands down.
But do you think, because like even I think either Skip Bayless or Shannon Sharp, they were surprised how when he said faith, family, and football.
Faith, family, and football.
Like he was surprised that played a big part.
Because he showed so much maturity in his speech, and since he's retired. Because when he played, he was such a diva. Where he's like, I play
most receivers are divas.
Like, they're divas, but it's a different type of diva because you know how talented you are, and your talent gets to your head, and it's like Randy Moss. If he decided to play with the same type of passion that he gave in that speech every game he went out, there would be no question he'd be the greatest receiver of all time. But he's a victim of his own success. But that being said, he still has an argument to be the greatest. And if you told me he is the greatest, I wouldn't be mad at you. You're allowed your opinion. I'm allowed my opinion. I can agree with you. Maybe tomorrow I think Randy's the best wide receiver of all time. But those are the 2 of the best wide receivers of all time. T.O. got robbed not being able to go in
for the first time. He was third, right? This was his third time.
This is his third year. And what's fucked up is that Randy got in his first try, and Randy was a head case in the locker room too. So it's kind of
because I know. Is it true that Randy and Belichick didn't get along, like towards the end?
No, I think sometimes no matter who you are, star power or head coach, you like just begin to split. And it came time because I think Randy was there for 4 years. Contracts coming towards the end. Randy's starting to age a little bit. Becoming a little bit more of a handful because he is Randy. Time to get him out. It's understandable. Shit like that happens all the time. But guess what? Belichick was there in his flip-flops. He's still supporting him.
So I got a question. It's just like a random thing I just really thought in my head. Where do you put Ocho Cinco in wide receivers?
He'll get the Hall of Fame.
You think so?
It'll literally take him 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Because how are his numbers? Are his numbers good or are they comparable?
His numbers are very good, very good. But he didn't have longevity.
He only played at 10 years almost?
He played around, I don't know exactly how long his career was.
Because I know him and TJ Husmanzada, they were
TJ Husmanzada was their early Bengals. Early Bengals? Yeah, he was there before Chad was.
Because I know it was that was the 1-2 punch. You either going to TJ or going to Chad. So I never really I don't know. Because freaking Chad Johnson's daughters.
Yeah, Chad Johnson played 9 years.
9 years? So NFL. That's not too long.
And
that's about the average for an NFL player in general.
Yeah, and what's going to be hard for him is he doesn't have over 1,000 catches.
Oh, he doesn't? Okay.
Does not have over 1,000 catches.
Let me guess, he's an 8 something.
766. So, I think he'll get into the Hall of Fame. It'll take a very long time to get into the Hall of Fame. And he's going to be talking all his shit the way it is, but Chad Johnson's a special dude. Yeah. He was 7'11", always open. No matter what, he'd be in a phone booth with 2 other DBs. He'd pick up the phone and say, "I'm open." They said that on TV. I'm I'll never forget that. He was so quick off the line.
He's just that fast.
Not even just fast. His footwork was so quick. It was some of the best footwork you'll ever see in a wide receiver. He would sit at the line of scrimmage and tell the defensive back what route he's running. Every single time he line up. And I'm running a jerk. And I'm running a slant.
Oh, shit.
And he would do it.
Damn.
Every time. And he would get all these catches. And he would fuck dudes up.
Yeah, remember when T.O. and Chad teamed up that one year?
Yeah, but T.O. was a little bit past his prime. Chad Johnson was out of his way.
Yeah, it was still cool to see, though.
Chad Johnson's career ended with Revis. So.
With Revis?
Revis ended Chad Johnson's career.
Wait, when is Revis eligible?
Revis has to wait, I think, 5 years.
So NFL is 5 years? I think it's the same for NBA.
I don't remember exactly, but I think it's about 5
You think Revis is easily first ballot?
He should be. If he's not, I will cry. If Darrelle Revis is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there is something wrong.
Something wrong?
Because the media has a lot of the main votes for the Hall of Fame. And I guarantee you, if it was a Hall of Fame voting for Darrelle Revis or T.O. or all these guys, they would get in the first ballot.
Yeah.
But the problem with Revis, and why I don't think he'll go in on the first ballot, is because he would do contract negotiations while he still has 3 years left on his deal. And would hold out.
That's weird.
For all of training camp.
Tell me, he's only 33.
Darrelle Revis?
He still has more burn, I think.
Darrelle Revis?
Yeah.
No. He's past his prime.
All right, what's the usual plan for NFL players?
Well, it all really depends. DBs, if depending on what they want to do, have the most longevity because they can go from playing a physical position in corner to go playing safety.
Yeah.
Sometimes father time hits you a little bit sooner, and you don't have that quickness. You don't have the strength you once had. Like Revis is a physical cornerback. Where if he can't play you and muscle you up and throw you around.
He's small though, 5'11", 198. That's pretty kind of small.
If you ever see him line up across from T.O. and watch him ragdoll T.O. off the line of scrimmage, you'd understand.
Yeah.
Like, he was so physical, so strong. If you can't play that way, he can't play in the NFL. Like, he had some of the best instincts I've ever seen. Easily the best bump and run corner, the best press corner I've ever seen. Fuck you, Richard Sherman. Everybody just loves Richard Sherman, but they forget how good Revis is and was. Revis, for his stretch, I'm sorry I'm going on a tangent. Revis
you're fine. You can keep
Darrelle Revis is my favorite NFL player of all time, besides Curtis Martin. Also, my 2 favorite Jet players of all time. Curtis Martin is top 4 running back of all time. Darrelle Revis, if not number 1 cornerback, number 2 corner.
Who's number 1?
Deion Sanders.
Oh yeah. I feel like Deion Sanders played every position.
Because Deion was prime time. Deion played corner. He played safety. He played special teams. He was everywhere. He was prime time. But where I think Revis has him is his physicality, his ability to step up and stop the run. Darrelle Revis is not scared to tackle. Darrelle Revis is great run support.
How about the Cromartie brothers?
Well, there's only one Cromartie.
Oh, there was 2.
There's Dominique Rodgers Cromartie and there's Antonio Cromartie.
Okay, I got
They're cousins.
Oh, they're cousins.
Yeah, they're cousins. They are They're garbage compared to Revis. Compared to Revis, they're
But
trash.
how about in general? Like general corners?
They had average. They're average corners. Cromartie had a great, like when it was Revis and Cromartie, or even when it was Quentin Jammer and Antonio Cromartie in San Diego from like those 2005 to 2008 years, they had a solid secondary.
Yeah.
But when Cromartie was on the Jets or Revis, we were the no-fly zone.
I remember this.
No-fly zone. We had the number one ranked defense for like 3 years in a row. Our defense is what brought us to back-to-back AFC Championship games because Mark Sanchez was a decent game manager, and we had number one rushing attack for years, and we had solid wide receivers and Braylon Edwards, Santonio Holmes, Brad Smith, Dustin Keller at tight end.
I remember that. That was the year that was supposed to be the all-green Super Bowl. Packers and Jets.
If we would have faced the Packers that year, we would have gotten our asses whipped.
Wow, you think so?
I don't think we would have lost. I don't think we would have got our asses whipped because that year we played you guys. That was one of the 4-year stretches where we played the NFC North. We were the only team to hold you guys to 0 touchdowns that year. We lost 9-3. You guys scored 3 field goals. We scored 1 field goal.
Damn, so that was a pretty tight matchup.
It was we were the 2 best defenses in the NFL at that point were us, our teams.
Yeah.
And go back to Darrelle Revis. He had stretches where he locked down every great wide receiver that was in the league.
Yeah.
In their primes.
Yeah.
Randy Moss, he played against Randy Moss 3 times, held Randy Moss to under 100 yards, held Randy Moss to 88 yards, 1 touchdown, and Revis had an interception.
Damn.
81 of those yards was in one game when Darrelle Revis pulled his hamstring.
Oof, okay. So that was an injured Revis,
Injured Revis. So, under 100 yards, 3 times a meeting against the consensus greatest wide receiver of all time. And you have Calvin Johnson.
Oh, I love Megatron.
I love Megatron.
I love Megatron. Listen,
only problem
I'm a Green Bay fan, but I love Megatron.
The Detroit Lions always have 2 like the best players in their positions with Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, and they always retire early because the teams are trash.
Yeah. Yo, imagine Calvin Johnson. Like, all right, remember how Brett Favre left to go to the Vikings?
Yes.
Imagine Calvin Johnson's left and going to the Packers.
The problem is Detroit had to be like, they had to trade him because if Calvin Johnson would come out of retirement, he'd have to play out the extent of his contract.
How many more years he had?
He just signed like a 5-year extension, like 2 years, so he has like 3 years left on his contract. So
it would have been a trade.
You'd have to get traded, and they would not trade him.
Can you force waivers in NFL like NBA? Can you force a buyout?
You could cut them.
Okay. So there's no buyouts in NFL?
Yeah, you lose the money. Okay. It all depends on where they are in the contract and how much of the money is guaranteed. Okay. Because there's no guaranteed money. That's why you have to buy out in the NBA because it's all guaranteed money.
Okay, I see.
NFL is not.
Yeah, it's just go. Yeah.
Whatever's guaranteed, we have to take the cap hit on and pay you. But other than that, you can just get cut.
Okay.
But Revis, in his prime, shut down Randy. Shut down Calvin. Calvin was held into the 2 games that they played. Calvin only had like 44 yards.
Damn. And he's a big dude, 6'5".
6'5", 235 pounds.
Yeah.
Probably was stride for stride one of the fastest receivers in the NFL for his size, and can jump through the roof.
Yeah, he looked like Usain Bolt on that field.
I would watch Matt Stafford throw to Calvin Johnson in triple coverage just because he could. Just because he could, and watch him catch it. Which is unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable how the dude's so strong and so talented and so big.
Yeah.
But Revis manhandled him. Kept him under 44 yards. T.O. He played T.O. in Cincy. He played T.O. in Dallas. He played T.O. in Buffalo. Wrecked T.O.
Do you think if he played T.O. in the 49ers, he would do the same?
It was a different time. T.O. was a little bit different. I don't really know how. I can't speak to how good the corners were at that time because Dion was kind of like later on in his career and probably wasn't as physical. And I don't know. Being as physical as he was, probably still would have been able to cover him because he was able to stop Randy in his prime and Calvin. I think he'd still have no problem. Revis also ended Chad Johnson's career. The 08-09, 09-10 playoff runs destroyed Calvin. And I think it was the 09-10 year. Calvin, they had a bet that if Revis held him to under 50 yards catching, he'd have to change his name back from Ocho Cinco to Johnson.
That's funny.
Yeah, Darrelle Revis, he has the case to be the best corner of all time because you also have names like Larry Fitzgerald in his prime, Anquan Bolden in his prime, a very young Des Bryant in his prime. Like, there's a ton of receivers he covered, and you can say whatever you want. My money's on Revis, always. I'm the biased Jets fan. He deserves every
like I'm a biased Nets fan. So
yeah, I'm allowed to be biased. Fuck you guys.
And then next thing on the early season predictions, like who do you see winning the Super Bowl? Just off like right now, as we're up in the air.
It's so hard. I hate the Super Bowl prediction because anything can happen.
All right, who do you see in the AFC and NFC conference championships?
I want to say Patriots Chargers for the AFC, but the Chargers always tend to bite me. Yeah. There was like an 8-year stretch where I picked the Chargers every year to go to the Super Bowl, and they always end up meeting Tom Brady somewhere along the line and just getting their asses whipped. And for the NFC, I think it's going to be Philly, and I think it's going to be 2 Los Angeles teams represented. I think it's going to be Pats Chargers and Philly and the Rams.
Philly and the Rams?
Yeah.
You think my Packers got a shot this year?
I'm not saying you don't have a shot.
I know.
I just don't think you guys have enough offensive weapons to get it done, and your defense isn't that good
anymore. Yeah, that's one thing I can say about the Packers. That if I don't know football, but I know Packers, is that our management never gave homeboy Aaron Rodgers a good defense.
He did.
Never.
The year they won the Super Bowl.
That 1 year. But after that, like, what's good?
Well, the Packers also don't go crazy in free agency.
Yeah, that's one thing too.
They built the draft,
and
they don't pay anybody.
Yeah. But we picked up some pretty good defensive players this year and drafted. Like, I think our first 3-4 picks were all defensive players, all defensive backs.
That's how you guys do things.
And we picked up Muhammad Wilkerson,
which I'm a fan of. I have a big love for Muhammad Wilkerson, being a Jets fan. The only problem with Mo Wilkerson is once he broke his leg, he wasn't the same. So he's on a prove-it deal.
And then we signed Jimmy Graham, another big bodied in the middle.
Yeah, but you got rid of Jordy, so like.
Yeah, but Cobb is still good.
Cobb is too small.
I like Cobb.
But Cobb hasn't done anything in like 3 years.
And then
Adams,
Randall
and Devontae Adams.
I love Devontae.
Wide receiver, he's good. He's very good. The problem, like, I don't think you guys got better on offense. I think you guys swapped out.
And we got some pretty good. I think we got a new running back too, who's supposed to be pretty good. I forgot his name.
Yeah, you guys don't run the ball, so it doesn't really make much difference.
And then we picked up that dude from the Browns.
Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser.
Yeah.
And then we still have Brent Hudley there.
Yeah, he's a bum.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, you guys didn't really get better. You guys stayed stagnant. You guys would have made the playoffs last year if Rodgers didn't break his collarbone.
Yeah.
So.
Like even so, when he came back, we 2 games away.
Yeah. So you guys had a chance. I think getting rid of Jordy. Like, if you're able to keep Jordy and get Graham, which wouldn't have happened, you guys would have been in a real good spot. I think Jimmy Graham is going to come back to the Jimmy Graham of old, where
because he's a good quarterback.
He's not even just a good quarterback. Russell Wilson's a great quarterback. Don't take anything away from him.
But he's not Aaron Rodgers.
The offense they run in Seattle is not tight end focused.
It's not middle.
Yeah, like they will adapt the offense of Green Bay to help Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it'll abuse some safety and linebacker matchups. Aaron Rodgers will have a new favorite target, and hopefully they play well, but that defense is going to get torched.
So, another thing I want to jump into, just super quick, Madden 19, we talked about this on the phone earlier. Well, first I want to talk about that song they bleeped out Calvin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
So, as of, I think, the 6th or the first day update.
Yeah,
I think they said August 6th they're actually going to put back Calvin Kaepernick's name. But what was your initial response when you heard about that?
I think they just fucked up.
Yeah.
I think the excuse they gave was like, we kind of just really fucked that one up.
Yeah, they messed up.
They really fucked up.
Do you think it was an EA thing or an NFL thing?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the NFL.
No?
Nothing to do with the NFL. NFL wouldn't care.
Okay.
It's a video game.
Yeah.
They just license their names out to it. The soundtrack doesn't matter.
Yeah. Because I think they said, they got confused with the licensing.
Yeah,
they don't have the license
to have it up because they didn't have the license to have Kaepernick in the game. So they were like, well, then we can't have Kaepernick at all.
Yeah.
I think it's an honest mistake. People are boycotting Madden, which what other football game you can play or not.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It was a shitty circumstance. I understand why everyone's upset. They fixed it. All's well in the world, I guess.
And then your boy. What's your quarterback's name again?
Sam Darnold.
You said they give him a 75?
They gave him a fucking 75. Why? He was a third overall pick in the NFL draft. Like, I get Baker Mayfield being rated higher because you know who's the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
But the quarterback taken at 10, Josh Rosen is ranked higher than him. The quarterback taken at fucking 32 is ranked higher than him. Why? Sam Darnold was the best quarterback prospect coming out of the fucking draft, and you shit on him. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do today? That's what we're gonna do? I'm flabbergasted that they're disrespecting Josh Rosen like that.
Oh shit!
I mean, God, Sam Darnold. I can't believe I fucking hate Josh Rosen. Like,
I know you said it. You said you didn't even want to draft him.
No, because he has pussy shoulders. My 4-year-old son has broader shoulders than Josh Rosen. He has a big ass nose. I'm also a USC Trojans fan, and he's a UCLA Bruin, so there's that bias.
Yeah.
Fuck Josh Rosen. Sam Darnold, I love that man. When we drafted him, I literally cried.
Yeah, I remember.
Literally cried.
I remember you saying
we finally did it right. I can't believe the Browns didn't take him. Baker Mayfield's gonna be fantastic.
Yeah, you guys didn't pick a punter this year. I was surprised.
Yeah. But we're 2-3 years away from competing. I think this year we go 7-9. And
you get like a
mid-roller pick. I think we take a pass rusher in the pass in the draft, unless rumors are Khalil Mack is open for trade. Who's literally one of the best defense, if not the best defensive player in the NFL right now. And there's a rumor going around that Jets are going to try to pull something out for him. I don't know what they do. If they give up the young talent, I'll be really pissed off. But if they got Khalil Mack, fantastic. That fixes our pass rush. Yeah. But we got to go pass rusher, do something because we got money too. So.
Yeah, you got money to spend next season. And another thing, more wide receiver. Do you think Odell Beckham should get paid?
Yes.
The amount? Yeah.
Yes.
You don't think he's too showtimey?
No. He's a receiver. He's a diva.
But I don't think he's better than the cover athlete from Madden. Antonio Brown.
I'm one of those people who thinks he is, but like I also want to tell you you're wrong to say AB is better than Odell. But it's not about who's better. It's about how much your franchise values you. And if the Giants value Odell Beckham, they'll pay him what he thinks he deserves. All that means is the next group of wide receivers will expect to get paid that money too. Yeah. He deserves everything he's going to get. He's been very productive for the games he's played. He's a fantastic wide receiver. Yeah. He's showtime. He is what New York needs.
Do you think this year that he's more healthy, he should be good?
As long as the Giants' offensive line doesn't get fucking picked apart.
And do you think Eli should be starting?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like he's starting to get run down a little bit.
Eli's got 2 more years on him.
That's it.
You don't quit on your quarterback. The fact that they quit on him last year just shows how much.
Yeah, didn't they fire the head coach like the game after?
Quick heads up, Ben McAdoo's a fucking idiot. He should have never gotten the job. I thought Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator, should have gotten the job over him. But what the fuck do I know? Yeah. Steve Spagnuolo was a great defensive coordinator. He was the defensive coordinator of the Giants team that beat the Patriots when they were undefeated. Yeah. And they had a great defense. But the problem with that defense last year was it was so tired because they had to be on the field the whole goddamn game. Ben McAdoo's an idiot. Hopefully they do better this year. Like I'm a New York sports fan. I'm a Jets fan over everything. But I do like when New York sports are good. Yeah. And Odell's one of my favorite players in the league. Eli, I don't think he's a great quarterback. I never thought Eli was a great quarterback. He leads the league in interceptions every other fucking year. But you don't disrespect your guy who's won you 2 Super Bowls. Yeah. You don't do that. So.
And then another fun thing that we like to do is some top 5s. We're gonna do top 5.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 top 5 lists.
11 top 5 lists?
Yeah.
Oh, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 5 positions because I'm limited in my knowledge of football. But
I literally have a top 5 list for everything that's not offensive lineman.
So actually, I made you the surprise top 5.
You go first, yeah.
That you were not prepared for.
Oh,
I don't have a top 5 at all for any position.
Oh.
I'm just asking you.
Okay.
But in your opinion, top 5 dime pieces in NFL.
Oh boy. That's a rough one.
I put Cam Newton in there because he's a handsome motherfucker.
Handsome
motherfucker.
Cam Newton, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown, Jalen Ramsey.
Like I put Cam Newton with Anthony Joshua.
Those are some dime pieces.
Yo, all team dime pieces.
I got 3.
No, you 4.
No, 4. One more.
They gotta put a white athlete in there, though. Yo, can you
believe Julian Edelman? Julian Edelman's a good looking dude.
Oh, yeah, he's a Patriots, right?
He's a fucking Patriot, but fuck him. He's a good looking dude, though.
I remember, I want to say, like 5 years ago, when Matt Flynn was backing up for Aaron Rodgers, they said he was like the most handsome quarterback. And you look at him now, he looks like a dope head, dude.
Yeah, because he fucking signed the Seahawks. And they started their 5th round pick, and Russell Wilson said him after they paid him.
And then he went to Oakland and that happened.
Yep.
And so I'm going to start off with the most basic, well, I don't care how many players you have, but top 5 quarterbacks right now in the NFL currently.
You want me first?
I don't have a list.
Oh, okay. Brady, Rodgers, Breeze, Matt Ryan, Russell Wilson.
Top 5 right now?
Top 5.
You want to keep going, or that's it?
That's all. I'm not doing anything more than that. I'll do 5.
All right, running backs.
Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, David Johnson, and the 5th one's fucking hard, so I just put Leonard Fournette from Jacksonville.
Jacksonville?
2nd year running back. He's gonna have a fucking.
For some reason, I have a feeling Ted Gurley is gonna be. He's gonna be really good.
He's gonna be the number 1 running back this year.
This year?
For sure.
Yeah, because I like his game. Yeah.
He just got a nice payday. Hopefully, he doesn't pull what Sean Alexander did in 2007. Get paid and suck. But Gurley will be the number 1 running back.
What did he say? He's like, whoever said money isn't happiness is a liar or something like that?
Yep.
That shit was hilarious.
It's true. Yeah, he got paid though, so good on him, man.
How about wide receivers, top 5?
AB, Julio,
Odell. That's the thing I was going to say to Julio Jones.
Julio Jones, let's pause my list. Julio Jones is a freak of fucking nature. For him to be that fast and have the same skill set.
Like, I know when he was in college.
As a smaller receiver.
I know he was in college, but this dude's going to be a fucking problem.
Bama.
Yo, for real, Bama players are.
But the thing is, like, Bama doesn't really throw the ball. They're running backs.
Yeah, they're running team.
Great, but these wide receivers are coming out of Alabama and just are insane. But yep, AB, Julio Jones, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins in Houston, and Keenan Allen in I want to say San Diego still, Los Angeles Chargers.
And how about linebackers?
I got tight ends, man.
You got
some tight ends.
Oh, go ahead, tight ends. Go
ahead. Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
Travis Kelce is personally my favorite tight end in the league.
He plays for the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, that boy got some wiggle. That guy's got some fucking flavor to him. Like, that dude is something special.
His brother's a tight end too, right?
His brother's a lineman. His brother just won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. But yeah, Travis Kelce, woo, that boy got some fucking swagger to him. That dude, God, he's got some flavor to him. I love him. Zach Ertz, Jimmy Graham, and Jared Reed.
Jared Reed? Alright, so who else is on offense?
Fullbacks
are not.
Fullbacks are non-existent.
Anyway, when did that end? Do you think?
Recently.
They're not. They doing 3 whiteouts now, right? 3 whiteouts in the tight end.
They're not running out of like strong sets anymore. Really, like if you do, you have a fullback that you put in, but they're not. So everything's a spread offense now. You're at a shotgun most of the time. You don't go into a hub.
Yeah, so they're not doing nickel or I formation anymore.
Yeah, not really. Not much.
And then
some teams do, but it's more so single back formation.
And then linebackers.
I got 2 lists for those. I got middle linebacker and outside.
All right, go outside.
Outside, I got Von Miller, Khalil Mack, Jadeveon Clowney, Sean Lee, and Telvin Smith.
Jadeveon Clowney moved from defensive end to linebacker.
He never was a defensive end.
Really? I think college he was
an outside linebacker. He's just an outside linebacker that plays on a 4-3 where he's on the line.
Okay. Because I remember, like, when he was, like, in high school or something like that, or in college, like, he was projected to be, like, the best, like, defensive end from what I remember.
Yeah, because he's an edge rusher. So, depending on the system he plays, he
was first pick overall, right?
Yeah.
But what happened to homeboy Mario Williams? What happened to him?
He's old as fuck.
Oh, he is? Okay.
Old as fuck. And also, like, real small.
Because he was in the Texans, Houston.
He was in the Texans?
Yeah, Texans, yeah. He was a beast, too, I heard.
Oh, he's very good.
Oh, wait. No, alright, I'll get to that list later because I have a player that just popped up in my mind. Now, how about inside linebacker?
Well, middle linebacker, that'll be Luke Kuechly, Bobby Wagner, Deion Jones, Dante Hightower, C.J. Mosley.
Alright, how about defensive ends?
J.J. Watt.
J.J.
He's
Watt.
number 1,
for sure.
Aaron Donald, young boy Joey Bosa on the Chargers. He's right now. I think he's going to be the next like big defensive end besides Donald and JJ. Cam Jordan, New Orleans, and Khalil Mack again.
Khalil Mack. He's
is flex. He went to the Pro Bowl 2 years ago for 2 positions, for outside linebacker and defensive end.
All right, if you're gonna take Khalil back out since he's a flex, who would fill that fifth spot?
Defensive end.
Yeah.
Probably Cam Hayward.
Cam Hayward.
Yeah.
Okay. And Pittsburgh. Then how about nose guards or defensive tackles?
Defensive tackles: Ndamukong Suh, Geno Atkins, Gerald McCoy, Fletcher Cox, and Snacks Harrison.
I was gonna say Ndamukong Suh. I forgot he was in the league for some reason.
Well, he was in Miami sucking dick. So
yeah, that's you
go to Miami to die, man.
That's the last thing I heard, that he went to Miami and then he just disappeared.
Got his money and just didn't do much.
So where he's at now?
He's on the Rams.
Oh wow.
That Rams team is gonna be very scary, very scary because they have one of the best cornerback duos in the league. The two of the best interior defensive players, like Aaron Donald's defensive tackle, defensive end hybrid, where you have Sue and Aaron Donald rushing, and then you got Michael Brockers on the inside too. They're a scary team, and they got some thumpers at linebacker, so they'll be very scary. Like they were just inexperienced last year. I think they'll be able to overcome that and just go right into it.
Because it's kind of like, any NHL people, like kind of like what the Los Angeles Knights did, like their inaugural season. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So this would be technically the second season as a Los Angeles Ram.
Well, going back to Los Angeles, because they were in LA before.
Okay.
They were in LA, St. Louis, LA.
So as in the new era. So
well, it's also a new head coach and who changed that team around with the same players that are on there. They also added Brandon Cooks at wide receiver to give Jared Goff a little bit more stability on offense. Get rid of Sammy Watkins, Cooper Kupp, white boy who was fucking awesome. They got some weapons, and they got a real good offensive line too. Sean McVay as head coach, second year is gonna be great.
That's good. And DBs.
I got 3 categories for DBs.
All right, how about
corners? Your strong safety, your free safety.
All right, corners.
The best cornerback in the NFL, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
For sure. That dude, 6'3", 225.
Yeah, that's big for a corner.
He's a big dude. Sherman is 6'3", 6'3", 6'5", but he's rangy and long.
Usually corners are no higher than 5'11",
6'1", usually. But Jalen Ramsey is a thumper, physical safety. He also likes to hit stick. So he's lower his shoulder and drop the boom on you. Jalen Ramsey, Chris Harris Jr., Patrick Peterson, Marcus Peters, and Hayward from the Chargers.
Those are corners?
Yeah.
All right, how about free safety?
Free safeties, I got the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu as my number 1 free safety in the NFL, Harrison Smith, Earl Thomas, LaMarcus Joyner, and McCourty from the Patriots.
How about
strong safety?
Strong safety.
Eric Berry, Micah Hyde, Jamie Collins, Jelani Jenkins, and Jet Pius, Jamal Adams.
Because here's my thing. One thing I remember how
Michael Jenkins. I'm sorry.
I mean, we just talked about it. They got rid of the fullbacks and went 3 wide now. I thought they got rid of the free safety and added another corner.
So you have your standard sets. You will always have 2 safeties over the top. And you have in your nickel packages, you have 2 safeties over the top and 3 corners. You could go into a big nickel or a big dime and have 3 safeties.
So you're losing a linebacker in this lineup.
In the big set, yes, because you'll go with 1 linebacker, 1 safety, 3 corners, 2 safeties over the top. Because then you can have the safety that's with the linebacker D up on your tight end.
So that safety has to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah, could be a little bigger, or just usually you'd have in this instance Tyrann Mathieu. The Honey Badger can man up any receiver, any tight end. You would have him there. Your Cam Chancellors, your Earl Thomases, those guys, your Micah Hydes, all those guys can cover man up on those. So you'd want to have your best man defender on that. So
what are the sets now? For someone who doesn't know football like me, and you're very knowledgeable, the lineups typically for defense, is it 3-5 or 3-4?
3-4 or 4-3.
3-4-4-3? Because I remember when I played for West Avon High, it was the first half of the season we did 4-3, and then when I played JV we went 3-4.
Yeah, so the only difference is you change up as opposed to having 2 defensive tackles and your 2 defensive ends. You can have
just a nose guard and 2
defensive
ends.
tackle, 2 ends, or depending if you go into a nickel set, you'll have your 2 defensive ends on the middle, and then your outside linebackers rushing the pass.
Yeah.
Or you'll have different sets where you have your best pass rushers on the field at once.
Okay.
So that's what the Broncos. The Broncos have Von Miller and now Bradley Chubb, who will be on the outside going in.
So how about this thing? I remember when I was playing football in high school where you either get in a 3 or 4 point stance. As of recently, when I watch like highlights in the game, I feel like there's no more 3-point.
It's a 3-point stance, or
like I feel like they're like kind of standing up but slouching.
It's a crouch. Like your linebackers.
Like I even see ends and tackles do these crouches.
It really depends. Like if you're on the line, you're in your stance. Mm-hmm. If you're rushing off the edge like most linebackers do, you don't. It's all a matter of preference. Some guys are better off the stance. Some guys just get the burst they need coming straight off from the crouch. Mm-hmm. But it's all technique, really.
All technique.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then so now the offense. Usually, is there ever a time where there will be 2 tight ends?
Yeah, the Patriots used to run a 2 tight end set with Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez.
And what is that called?
Just 2 tight end set.
2 tight end set.
Yeah,
so
you drop a receiver and you put in tight end.
And is there a time where you lose a running back and you just put another tight end and then keep a receiver?
You could go 5 wide and lose your running back completely. You just have 5 wide receivers, the tight end out there as a receiver, and your running back just not backfield with you. You just have to make sure that it's a legal formation and that there's the correct eligible amount of receivers that are out there as well.
Is it illegal to have 1 receiver?
Yeah, they have single sets like that where you have 1 wide receiver, 2 tight ends, and a running back.
So as running back. So what? Wait, now I'm confused. Guard. So 1 receiver, 2 tight ends,
and a running back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Because you'd swap out a wide receiver for a tight end.
Oh, I see.
And you run like a goal line set or a single back set. Like Tom Brady would kill, no pun intended, with Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. Like
I just got it.
Yeah. But like that set was so scary because they were both fucking freaks.
Yeah.
And they drafted them late in the draft, both of them. And it's like, fucking thing is, I wanted Aaron Hernandez on the Jets. I watched that Florida game. Yeah, thankfully. Thank fucking God we didn't get him, because that was a bit of a shit show. Because that fucking Florida Gators team.
But didn't he die in jail?
Yeah, he hung himself.
Oh yeah.
That Florida Gators team had Tim Tebow, Percy Harvin, Rob Gronkowski,
Cam Newton.
Nope, not that team. He was on Auburn for that 1 year, or he was the backup. One of those. But Cam Newton didn't play, so it didn't matter. Brandon Spikes, like they had a stack. So many NFL players.
Yeah, that Florida team was crazy.
That Florida team was fucking awesome. But
isn't it the year where the basketball and the football team won championships? No.
Florida basketball team hasn't won a championship since 2006.
Okay.
Joakim Noah.
Yeah, because that was like the same time where they won.
And they did win one at that time too, but this is like 2010.
I see.
So 4 years removed.
So I have top 10 overall, including legends and recent players.
That's
too much.
That's too
I'll
much.
go right now. Players right now.
That's hard too.
That's hard too.
It's not like basketball where you can just name 10 players because they all do similar things.
So I'm pretty sure your top 5 would be. I think your top 10 would then be all the positions that we need.
It would just be the number 1 in all those positions.
That is true.
But it's like, it's hard to do that because they all do things differently.
Yeah.
Like Tom Brady, he's not a great athlete.
No,
he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, like I saw some of his.
Russell Wilson would be the best athlete in the top 5. Yeah. So it's like
hard to choose. Yeah. Because I saw some Tom Brady draft combine highlights. Ooh, that boy looks stiff.
Yeah, he's not an athletic guy. Like
he's just a pocket.
He's a great quarterback. A great quarterback who's ruined my life. But like. It's a top 10 list for like current players is very difficult to make.
And last thing I want to talk about before you end the stream is that Cam Newton and that his former wide receiver.
Kelvin Benjamin, fuck you, FSU.
But one thing I want to know is I was looking at Cam Newton's stats earlier, and a lot of people give him heat. Besides that 1 year where he threw 12 or 14 interceptions, his numbers are pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, but his problem is he's inconsistent. Cam Newton is
he's getting over 3,200 yards a year though.
Yeah, but look at his completion percentage. My problem with Cam Newton is I like Cam Newton as an athlete, and as a quarterback, he's awesome. I think he's got the correct amount of swagger for what an NFL quarterback is, and for the type of player he is, who's not scared to take hits and just running linebackers over. He's fucking nuts.
He's 6'5",
240.
Yeah.
He's a machine. He's got a strong arm. The problem is he's a little bit inconsistent and he can miss some throws. Kelvin Benjamin is a bomb. Cam Newton had...
I heard he came into the Buffalo's training camp at 285.
Yeah, as a wide receiver.
That's too
Even
much.
if you take a look at that video that came out today, this is Thursday, August 9th. That video that came out today, Kelvin Benjamin has titties.
Yeah.
In that video.
You look like me. Yeah.
He has titties. You're 6'3", you should be no more than 230.
Yeah.
If you're that fucking big.
He kind of did what homeboy from the Packers did.
Oh, Eddie Lacy. Eddie Lacy was 2 cheeseburgers away from being a defensive tackle. That motherfucker. 2 cheeseburgers away from being a defensive tackle.
He was looking slim, and then the next thing off season is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he just was a round man. He was a round man.
Because I'm looking, I'm like, damn, Eddie Lacy, you just had a career year, and like, damn, bro, like you was a running back of the future.
Yeah, those Georgia backs.
You was literally running dudes over.
No, he's a Bama back. Those are some big dudes, man. But now Kelvin Benjamin, the problem with Kelvin Benjamin is like his argument about Cam being inaccurate is trash because Cam's best years came when Kelvin Benjamin wasn't playing.
Yeah.
Rookie of the year without Kelvin Benjamin. MVP of the league without Kelvin Benjamin. Went to the Super Bowl without Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah.
Kelvin Benjamin has a weight problem. He doesn't run his routes correctly. His hands are very meh. Like, he's not a great receiver.
Yeah.
So it's like he has no room to be speaking about Cam Newton, like
being bad.
Like what Shannon said. It's like, oh, well, like, if I had AB, I'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, some receivers... Sometimes it's not always about the quarterback making the receivers better. The receivers, some point, have to help the quarterback.
Yeah.
They have to help.
They have to run their routes. They have to catch the ball.
They have to catch the ball. They have to make the extra effort to make sure the ball is not put into position, where the defender is going to grab it. Kelvin Benjamin is trash at those. Yeah. That's why they got rid of Kelvin Benjamin, sent him to Buffalo, where his career is going to fucking end.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. He went to a Super Bowl with Ted Ginn as his number 1 wide receiver. For anybody who knows who Ted Ginn is,
I know who Ted Ginn is.
Ted Ginn's got fucking feet for hands. He is not a very good wide receiver.
The only reason why I remember Ted Ginn because he was a fucking kickoff return specialist for the for the Dolphins.
Yes.
On Madden.
Fun fact. Ted Ginn also returned like 2 or 3 kick returns against the Jets in like 2009 one year, and I was fucking fuming. I was so fucking. I was like, is nobody gonna fucking tackle this man? Are we just gonna look at him? Yeah. They're like, we had one of the most solid special teams like of all time at that point. So I was like, we can't stop Ted Ginn. Ted Ginn got
just fast as fuck.
He's super fucking fast, but he couldn't make it as a wide receiver with the Dolphins. Couldn't make it as a wide receiver on the 49ers, and was pretty much just on the Panthers at this point, and was just like waiting. Ted Ginn learned how to catch a little bit, like so he's got 1 foot, 1 hand, I'd say, but like he was their leading receiver.
That's crazy.
Which was
so
nuts.
He made him look good.
Cam made Ted Ginn look great.
Yeah.
Ted Ginn also helped Cam because Ted Ginn was so fucking fast that it's very hard to outthrow him. It's like it's very hard to outthrow Deshaun Jackson. He's so fucking quick.
Yeah. Yo, who's that guy that used to play on the Cowboys? He's like half Asian or some shit.
Miles Austin.
Yeah, what happened to him?
A bum.
He's a bum?
He never was really good. He had good years with the Cowboys. He went to the Browns and sucked dick. Sucked dick.
Yeah, I remember there's a rumor saying like he had a little shrimp penis.
Oh my god, I don't really care
that's
too much
mean.
for that.
I was like, that's just mean.
I don't really care for that rumor, but it is what it is. What else do I got? I had a couple things I want to talk about.
It's yours from here because I'm out of questions.
What time are we in right now?
We are in 58 minutes.
Oh, wow. I thought we were going for like 2 hours. I also feel like I talk way too much sometimes.
All that jet talk is all good.
That jet talk is fucking great, man. I don't know, like, I don't think they have HBO, but Hard Knocks started yesterday.
Oh, I've heard of Hard Knocks.
I love Hard Knocks.
Yeah, they cut some player. Who did they cut? And they said, oh, we're going to keep you on the practice team.
They do that. It's a bunch of players. They let one of the dudes go last week, but they covered the Cleveland Browns, which is going to be a complete shit show because the Browns are going to win 7 games this year.
You think they win 7 games?
I think they win 7 games.
A lot of people said they're like playoff contenders.
I think they can be. I think
but
they
now
can
with
be.
7 games.
No, but like They won one game in 2 years. Like they can compete. Mm-hmm. I'm putting it at 7 games.
Because I feel like this offseason they did a complete 180.
They made themselves a team.
Yeah.
The problem is Hugh Jackson's a garbage coach, and you could tell by the way he carries himself on Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to play like the bad, like a really good guy, and like, I'm gonna win here in Cleveland. No, dude, you fucking suck. You're a terrible head coach. Yeah. You have a group of talented guys. The ceiling right now, like if they win 7 games, their season is a success. Yeah. It's a complete success. Mm-hmm. They can win a couple games that can put them in playoff contention. Yeah. I'm being safe in putting in that 7 wins because if I were to put them at 9, I could become an asshole. Because they can very much so win 5 games. Yeah. Like 4 games. If they win less than 7 games, I'll be very shocked. Yeah. They got solid running back group, solid wide receiving core, young defense. Mm-hmm. Quarterback's going to toss up. I think Baker Mayfield will take over halfway through the season. Yeah.
Who's their main guy right now?
Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, I heard
from the Buffalo Bills. Tyrod's a vet. Tyrod brought the Bills to the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, let's see how well he does there. They got some great wide receivers. They haven't talked about bringing Des Bryant in.
That'd be nice. That'd be scary.
The problem with Des Bryant is last year he had the most drop balls in the NFL. Everybody wanted to shit on Dak Prescott. I can't blame Dak Prescott for any of the mistakes that happened for the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. I'm also a very big Dak Prescott fan when he was in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. But he's a solid quarterback. He makes the correct decisions. The problem is, if you take a look at the majority of Dak Prescott's interceptions last year, they're all coming out of Des Bryant's hands.
Yeah.
And it's
is there a lot of tips? A
lot of tips. When they played the Broncos last year, Des Bryant ran a out route, and the ball tipped right off his hands into Chris Harris Jr. The only problem with the Browns is they just got rid of Corey Coleman, first-round wide receiver from last year, for a big potato. He's a speedster, real fast dude. The problem is he can't make great catches. He doesn't have great hands. Yeah. Doesn't have great hands. Which you could progress. You could grow as a wide receiver and you put the work in. Yeah. You could do well. Because that would have been a very scary receiving core having Jarvis Landry from Miami. Yeah. Jarvis Landry's going to be top 10 receiver this year. Mark my words. He's fucking fantastic.
So I got a question about the Browns. Are most of them free agent signings and trades?
A lot of them, yes. Mm-hmm. They only really drafted big name like Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb, running back out of Georgia.
Oh yeah, I know Chubb. I heard he's good.
His brother is on the Broncos.
Oh, I probably got their names mixed up.
Yeah, they're both
Brandon Chubb, right?
I don't remember. Nick, Brad, something like that. I don't know. But running back, Nick Chubb, he's going to be a second or third string back. Because they also got Carlos Hyde from San Francisco.
I know Hyde.
Signed Jarvis Landry, my boy Juice from Miami. Mm-hmm. Tyrod Taylor from Baltimore.
So a lot of them were signed.
Demarius Randall from the Eagles or the Packers. Demarius Randall from the Packers on defense.
Oh, yeah. He's nice. I miss
him. A lot of good signings. They got rid of Corey Coleman because they were going to bring Dez. At the end of the day, they traded him to the Bills. So his career's over. Sorry. Josh Allen's bum. All I can see that Josh Allen's bum. And I told y'all, Josh Allen's bum. But the Browns are going to do really well. I would like to see them go 9-7. I'd like to see them go 8-8. I think 7-9 is the perfect over/under. Because if you do less than 7, Hugh Jackson's got to go. If you win 7, Hugh Jackson's got to go. And if you make the playoffs, Hugh Jackson's got to go. No matter what, Hugh Jackson's got to go. He's a trash head coach. I really hope that.
Who's out there that you think should take over the Browns?
I don't know who would want to take over the Browns.
Really?
That's where
even with
such a stacked team. The problem is the Browns have a stigma because they don't have a good front office. They've never had a good front office.
So why do you think the front office changed this year? Why do you think they changed this year to have this stacked team?
Because they had the correct young pieces in place where you only need to maybe swap out your quarterback here. You needed to grab a couple pieces of your defense here, maybe grab a number 1 wide receiver. Yeah. It's only a matter of time until a team just kind of changes and starts to click. It happened with Jeff in 2008 when we just started to click. It happened with the Jaguars after how many years of irrelevance?
I heard the Jaguars have a top 5 defense this year.
Jaguars have the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL.
Oh, they do? Oh, okay.
They have literally the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL. you could say they have the number 1, number 2 cornerbacks by themselves. Jalen Ramsey and AJ Bouye are fucking. That's the best secondary since the Jets secondary. Actually, it's the best secondary since the Legion of Boom. The original Legion of Boom with Sherman, Byron Maxwell, Cam Chancellor.
Is Sherman even in the league anywhere?
Sherman's in San Francisco.
But he's just.
I never thought Sherman was great.
Yeah.
I'm also a Darrell Revis fan.
Yeah.
Sherman's good. Sherman's a very talented wide receiver. I mean, defensive back. A problem with Sherman is he never could cover speedy receivers.
Okay. Because he's a bigger guy.
6'3", 6'5". Yeah. Like he's a big, lanky dude. Great zone corner. Like cover 3 is where he was at.
Yeah.
I think his biggest advantage is playing with dominant safeties.
Yeah. That can help him.
Even if you got over the top on Sherman, you were getting killed by Bam Bam or fucking Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
And he can't cover short, immediate routes, like drags, and jerks, and slants. Like, he can't cover those well, but he did have long enough arms to jam you, keep you in your place. Des Bryant wrecked Sherman a few times, and Demaryius Thomas got Sherman a few times as well. There was a stretch where Sherman was just great. He had a bunch of interceptions. That's just because Sherman's real tall. And
he can just grab that.
And they kept challenging him for whatever reason. That was like, oh, I have more interceptions than Revis. I was like, well, you're going to have more interceptions than Revis.
Because you're longer.
Not even because you're longer, because they wouldn't throw at Revis.
Yeah.
Revis would play defense, and he would shut a whole side of the field down.
Yeah.
A whole side of the field down.
Yeah, who's that player that he just talked shit to Jay Cutler? It's like if I played against him more, I'll be in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's a guy recently.
I'm not sure. Like, when I think of Jay Cutler and talking shit, I think of Phillip Rivers and the Chargers. Like in 2007 and 8, whenever it was like Sunday Night Football and it was Chargers Broncos, those two would be fucking jawing at each other, and it was fucking awesome. But I don't remember anybody really saying. It's probably I don't know.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, I'm not sure who would have said that. Jay Cutler is a bum, so I don't really.
Yeah, I never really liked Jay Cutler.
I never liked Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler is going to be broadcasting for Fox this year. So
really?
Yeah, because he likes to do nothing. Jay Cutler last year in the Dolphins was a fucking shit show. Yeah.
D'Angelo Hall.
Yeah, he'd be a Hall of Famer if he played against Jay Cutler a little more. D'Angelo Hall's great. D'Angelo Hall played in the league for 15 years, dude.
Didn't he play he had 4 interceptions one game against Cutler?
Something like that. I don't think it was 4, but he did get a good amount against Cutler.
Speaking of interceptions, Johnny Football, CFL, the first half with 4 interceptions.
Yeah, Johnny Football was never going to be a good NFL quarterback. So.
And the thing is, I see some of the CFL highlights. I don't understand why they have the wide receivers run 20 yards, pause at the line of scrimmage, and then hike and go.
I just saw some funny stuff. I'm sorry. That's why I don't keep your phone open, boy. Hey. Nah, Johnny Football, Money Manziel. I loved everything about Johnny Football in college because he'd come around and he'd do the fucking money sign with his hands after he'd throw touchdowns and shit like that. And then when he was getting drafted, John Gruden just stroking the fucking penis of Johnny Manziel every time a quarterback was taken. Like, oh, that was a good fit here, but you know who I would have taken here? Johnny Manziel. For the first 15 picks until Johnny Manziel got drafted, he was just stroking, oh yeah, Johnny Manziel. I was like, well, look at him. He's out of the league in 1 year.
Yeah, who do you think is more of a diva, Manziel or Baker?
I don't think either one of them are divas.
But very cocky, or so to say.
Manziel is more cocky, more arrogant. Baker's a better leader. Baker has it. So, I hate the comparison to Johnny Manziel, but it's the only comparison you can make to Baker besides Drew Brees because of their size and how they play.
So much as attitudes in general, personality.
Attitudes in general. I would love to have Baker Mayfield on the Jets. If we didn't take Sam Darnold, I wanted Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
I was completely prepared to take Baker Mayfield with the 3 pick because.
Do you think Saquon Barkley, no matter what, was going to the Giants?
100%. There's no other way they should have won. They haven't had a running back in At this point, a great running back in years.
Yeah. I can't even name their last great running back.
They didn't have one. Their last great running back is Tiki Barber.
Oh yeah,
when they won the Super Bowls, they
won the Super Bowl after Tiki left too, right?
Yes, like a couple years, like 2 or 3 years after Tiki left, because Curtis Martin and Tiki Barber retired around the same time. Mm-hmm. Tiki Barber's garbage though. The last running backs they had were Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw, and Derek Ward. Mm-hmm. They had a 3-headed back that won the first Super Bowl besides their stout defense.
Yeah.
But Baker Mayfield is a passionate leader.
Mm-hmm. So he talks and plays, except for Manziel, who just talks.
Manziel talks a lot of shit, and it's just like he's got his money thing. And
did he trademark that shit from?
Yeah, he trademarked money, Manziel. But Baker Mayfield earned everything he got. He walked on to Texas A&M. Mm-hmm. He walked on to Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Won the Heisman. He's earned everything he's gotten. He's going to earn a starting football job in the NFL.
I like that. I like that picture he did, the pre-draft of the Brett Favre thing. That shit was dope. I like that.
Yeah, when he played Kansas and he's walking up and down the sideline grabbing his nuts, screaming because fuck you, yelling to the crowd. You guys are a basketball school. That shit I love. I absolutely love it. I like that shit too.
I feel like sometimes it's a little bit too soft.
It's true. The game's gotten soft, and you want the game, your players to be passionate. You don't want to take that out of the game. Yeah. I can get where grabbing your nuts and saying fuck you to the other side could be a little bit too much. It can be worrisome when it comes to your franchise quarterback. Yeah. But I want that fire. Yeah. I like that.
You need that fire.
I like that because all it's going to show is this dude's going to ride and die for your team. Yeah. And if your team's not up to par, he's going to hold them accountable. He's going to call them out. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love that. Mm-hmm. One problem I had with Baker is his arm wasn't the strongest.
It's shaky. Yeah.
It wasn't the strongest.
Is it accurate?
It's looking good. He's very accurate. Very accurate.
It's just not strong.
Not incredibly strong, but he didn't need to have a strong arm in college. But he's looking like he's been putting some mustard on his passes from what we saw today.
Yeah, that was the next question. From the game that you saw today, from his runs, from his reps, do you think he's pretty solid?
Well, he's playing. He's playing second team. Yeah. Tyrod's playing the first set with the first team. He's playing with the second team, and he's picking apart the Giants' second team. Yeah. I'm not too worried about it. He will transition to the NFL. He'll be a very good NFL quarterback. I don't think he's going to be. I don't want to say he's not going to be a superstar because I could be very much so wrong because he has that personality, that bravado that's going to carry him. He's going to be he carried himself like Aaron Rodgers, but not as arrogant as Aaron Rodgers comes off. I really like Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield?
I'm a big fan. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen tomorrow night when Sam Darnold makes his debut with the Jets. So.
You have anything you want to talk about there? Anything on your mind? Anything, we watching the preseason game right now.
Dak Prescott looks good, but Dak Prescott is good when he's spreading the ball out to his different receivers, not just trying to please Des Bryant. Mm-hmm. But what do I know? I don't know. But I'm just excited football's back. I can't wait for this whole football season. I predict the Jets go 7-9. I don't think we go anything better than that. We get 4 wins just by sweeping the Dolphins and the Bills because those guys are trash. And we may steal one from the Patriots because we always play the Patriots very, very strong. Pats win the division at 11-5. I think Houston, the AFC South, wins the division. I think Jacksonville slips in the playoffs as a wild card team because their offense is trash. Well, Blake Bortles is trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
the Chargers win the division, and Denver comes in 9-7. Pittsburgh wins the division. Baltimore comes in 9-7. So there's going to be a couple toss-ups for the last wild card spot between Denver and Baltimore, depending. I think Philly wins the NFC East, with Dallas coming 9-7. New Orleans wins the South with 11-6. Atlanta and Carolina both coming 9-7. They're I think my predictions are solid. I think they're solid, but I may give or take a few games here because I'm looking back at them I have a couple teams that are 9-7 in the NFC South, which can really fuck a lot of things. Yeah. But they can all happen. The Rams win the NFC West with San Francisco coming in 9-7. Green Bay wins the North coming in 10-6. Minnesota also finishes 10-6. But I think Green Bay wins the division by sweeping Minnesota. But that wild card, literally. Dallas and the Giants coming 9-7, Atlanta and Carolina coming 9-7, San Francisco coming 9-7, and Minnesota coming 10-6. The only one that's locked for the wild card is Minnesota. It would all be a 3-way tie for that last part. I think I may take. You know what? The Giants going to go 8-8.
How about that?
8-8,
because their offensive line is trash. Sorry, Giants fans. Fuck off.
So you think Saquon Barkley's gonna have a hard time this year with that O-line?
No.
He's just super agile and fast.
He'll make his mark in receiving. I don't think he's gonna have a great rushing year.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna have a solid year as a running back with rushing yards, but I think most of his yards will be all-purpose. He's gonna probably be out there on some punt returns.
Yeah.
And I also think he's gonna be a great backfield receiver for Eli when that line does collapse. Because in Penn State,
just dump it off right to him.
Dump it off. I think in Penn State, Saquon Barkley was phenomenal at what he did. So.
Yeah, when I think of Penn State, I think of that rapist coach. But anyway.
Jerry Sandusky, man.
That old ass dude.
Well, so that was Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno wasn't raping kids. Sandusky was raping kids. So. Joe Paterno just knew about it and didn't do anything.
Yeah, I remember there's a big ass commotion about that. I'm like, Penn State, I like Penn State too. I was like, no,
I don't. USC, man.
USC? I don't even think I have my college teams, I usually stick with Seton Hall and Michigan. Because Michigan, when I was playing for West Haven High football, that was my goal to play for Michigan in a football team. And then for basketball, I never really had one, so I was like, I just pick Seton Hall.
You live in Connecticut.
Huh?
You live in Connecticut. We have one of the best basketball programs in the country. Especially at the time when we were watching basketball, the Big East was the Big East. It's especially when the Big East really was the Big East, was the last time when Kemba Walker fucking shut down the NIT.
But the thing is, when I first started to get into sports, is when I first moved to Connecticut. And so I was like, I don't want to be any Connecticut teams. I didn't even know any Connecticut. I didn't even know UConn basketball was a thing until they won the championship.
Fucking Calhoun, man. One of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, so I was like, Seton Hall.
The Big East was fucking killing because they had you had UConn, Syracuse, Big John's, Pitt, Villanova, Georgetown, all prolific basketball schools all in one conference. Yeah. So the Big East was always fucking on fire. Always on fire from the late 90s. When you had Rowland coming out. Yeah, I said Rowland. Ray Allen. Ray Allen, Rip Hamilton, Charlie Villanueva, fucking Emeka Okafor later on. I'm thinking Aladdin,
Ben Gordon.
Yeah, Ben Gordon, Rudy Gay, all those guys.
Oh, Amin, I know you're talking about that.
Yes, I forgot his last name. Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, isn't he a commentator in ESPN or some shit? Or is that
I think so.
Or is that a different guy? I don't know. It's probably
Alamin. I think his last name's Alamin.
Alamin?
Yeah. Chris Duhon, Jeremy Lamb, Kemba Walker, so much talent.
But what happened now? I don't think UConn's even relevant anymore in men's basketball.
No.
Ever since Andre Drummond, that was it.
Well, because the Big East isn't the Big East anymore. They did a realignment of the conferences, so it's not the same. Yeah. And college basketball now is just a shit show anyway. So
actually, we could. Never mind. We'll save this for another stream.
What happened?
No, because this is a football stream. So
we can talk about whatever. We got time. This will be our longest show yet.
Buckle on in, motherfuckers.
So,
welcome back to Jump Shot Therapy.
So, NCAA policy. I'm gonna read it to you. Elite high school basketball recruits and college players can hire agents. With highlighted underclassmen who enter the NBA draft and go undrafted can return to school. 2 independent groups will be formed to resolve complex rules violations cases, pending approval from the NBA and the NBA Players Association. And so, when they say elite high school players, it's literally 5 players that are considered elite.
So they have to be a little bit more
because even the NBA, the National Basketball Players Association and USA Basketball didn't know about this until they announced this rule.
So what do they mean by elite?
So
do they mean 5-star recruits?
So they said USA Basketball has to pick the 5 elite players.
Wow, that's shitty. That puts USA Basketball in a very shitty predicament. Very shitty.
And they're yet again pending approval from NBA and NBAPA, and I'm pretty sure USA Basketball.
That's trash. That puts USA Basketball in a very rough position where they have to. Okay.
And there's only 5 players.
Out of the
thousands.
The amount of people that actually are on the 18 and younger team or whatever the fuck it is. You 5 are going to be our elite players. Sorry, everybody else. Yeah. Everyone's going, what the fuck?
The thing is about that underclassmen who enter draft and go drafted and return to school, they lose their scholarship if that school that they're part of gives a scholarship to another player. Gives their scholarship. So if they go undrafted, they're basically paying out of pocket to stay in school. Then play on that basketball team.
So what's the point of going back? You might as well just go play overseas.
And I've always been a big overseas person, like because of how the NCAA works for all sports in general, like. But unfortunately, football doesn't have an international like leagues or anything like that.
Yeah.
So basketball always said like.
Yeah, you have like, Canada, but they're trash.
Yeah, but like I always say, like if you're an elite high school player and you deserve to go to the NBA, just skip college, go play overseas for a year, like play for the bare minimum and like 5 minutes a game, a la Brandon Jennings, and you're gonna get picked top 5.
Brandon Jennings was killing it though.
He was killing it in high school, exactly. And when he went to Italy, he only played like 3 games out of a 35-game season.
Yeah,
and he still went top. Well, he went 10th or 11th.
Well, he got most of his thing because of his high school prospect.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're an elite high school player,
but now look where Brandon is.
I'm saying you might as well get paid overseas $1.5 million.
So, like to your point where he's like, oh, just play like 5 minutes. How long was Brandon Jennings' career?
In the league, at least 10.
Of solid, like being
solid, and before he got injured on the Pistons,
what, 4 or 5 years?
5-year stretch.
Like if you're gonna play, you play to the highest level, like the highest level you're able to play. I wouldn't settle for the bare minimum because at the end of the day, you're trying to get to be elite, and you're trying to be the best of the best, and you want to play with the best players in the world. You want to get out of playing in Europe. Yeah. Not saying there's anything wrong with playing in Europe, but that's not the level of competition you want to play with.
Yeah. I'd rather play with grown-ass experienced men than my level in college.
Yeah, but the grown-ass experienced men may not even be on your level.
I mean, if you're going to Spain...
Some players may be on your level.
Like Barcelona...
Some players may be on your level.
Yeah.
Some players. Mm-hmm. But they're all like scheme guys over there. Everything all depends on the offense that you're playing, and like it's very rare where there's a bunch of players that are so high talented, because if they were so high talented, they'd be getting scouted by the NBA. Yeah. Which is not the case.
Yeah. And I'm starting to become a fan of the G League, because I feel like finally now they're actually getting decent players that are finally being called up.
I don't care for the G League.
Mm-hmm. So would you rather have a player go to the G League or to Spain?
That's rough. Because the G League is just the rejects that didn't get drafted. Yeah. And you have more opportunity to probably make better money in Spain. Yeah. Probably. I can't speak to what the contracts are.
The max one player can get, usually a max is like 2 years, $8 million.
Where, in Spain?
In Spain.
What about, do you know the G League contracts?
The G League contracts?
Probably less than $1 million.
Less than 100,000.
Shit, because the league minimum is what, like 500,000? Like the very minimum?
Like the average G League player makes $25,000 a year.
I make double that.
You're making more than a G League player.
I'm making more than 2 G League players. Yeah, go overseas, man. Yeah. Go overseas.
Like even in China, like I was talking to my boy Tayshaun Taylor when he used to play in the Nets. He had like a stream, and I was asking him the questions. And I also was like, how much is a max contract in China? Because Marshawn Brooks is playing in China. Because he was like, Marshawn Brooks is a walking bucket.
He's a walking bomb.
So I was like, how much is a max in China? He goes, you could sign a 3-year deal and get $10 million guaranteed.
You're still a millionaire, man. Mm-hmm. It may not be all about the money, but it's about the love of the game and where you're going and the lengths you go to play the game.
And these players are averaging like 36 points a game.
Yeah, but like, are you really like? Or do you feel good about your 36?
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing, it's like playing the playground, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like playing against some 5th graders.
I love shitting on some 5th graders, but I'm not gonna feel good about those buckets.
Yeah. But so during the lockout, J.R. Smith, he played in China for like.
Didn't somebody just say they were signing in China? And they used Stephon Marbury as a inspiration.
And he told him not to go because it's like somewhere near Serbia. I forgot what player, but I know.
What fucking player was that?
But
going to China.
I think J.R. Smith.
Did he go to Turkey and crossed up all the motherfuckers? And he had his bum beard on, where it was just like all patchy and grown out.
Who are you talking about?
J.R. Smith. Back in lockout, he was just crossing dudes up.
No, he was in China.
Oh yes.
I think he averaged like 38 points a game.
After J.R. Smith, like he couldn't sign with the NBA team until the Chinese season was over.
It's over, yeah. It's like February or something like that.
See, there's Stoudemire, because Stoudemire when he played in Turkey.
Mm-hmm. No, Ted Stoudemire played in Israel.
I think he originally played in Turkey. He played in Israel after his stint in the NBA.
Yeah.
But
because he became Jewish or some shit like that, yeah.
Yes. He became a Jew.
I think he said he always was a Jew, but never. Like,
yeah.
Anyway,
let's
so
not go into that. I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care about whatever.
It's just funny.
Yeah. I miss him, alright. He's mad thin now in the Big Three.
Yeah.
Mad thin.
Those wine baths.
Yeah, that's weird. Don't do that. That's a waste of money.
For
that's a lot of wine. You're a 6'10" man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of wine. Your bathtub's probably rather big too.
Yeah. You're a multi-millionaire, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that Knicks money.
Shit.
That Knicks money, man.
I'm pretty sure he had a fucking jacuzzi that could fit like 6 people of his stature.
Not a hot tub full of wine. Things people do with money.
For shit. If we had that much money,
I don't know. I'd probably have a jacuzzi full of wine too. I can't even front. I'd probably have a jacuzzi full of wine.
You know
just because I could.
You know what? I got a couple $100,000 I could spend.
You know, I just made $100 million.
Let's go to the liquor store.
Oh yeah, buy all the liquor. How much liquor, Squire? How much liquor can fill up a bathtub? I don't know, like 4 bottles. Give me 4 bottles.
Right, I think we're gonna end it there, man. An hour and a half. That's not bad.
Hey, this is the longest show yet. Y'all got some treats.
I had a lot of fun in this show. I like this stream. Even though I don't know shit about football, I felt like I learned a lot. If you guys don't watch football or anything, I hope you guys learn a lot too.
Hey man, I would love for you guys to start watching some football. You guys can leave some questions down in the comments if people actually listen to this. Maybe we should do a better job marketing this. I don't know.
Yeah, we gotta, get some context. I know Dylan has some contacts, so get the ball
I can
rolling.
make things happen. I just work a lot.
Yeah,
but
we both work 40+ hours a week, so
yeah. So we're filming. Like I said, we're filming today, the 9th on a Thursday as opposed to a Saturday. Get some news. We could actually hit some stuff while it's happening, as opposed to waiting a few days till after it happens, so we can have some topics fresh in our mind. I like it. It all depends on where we're comfortable. We just gotta remain consistent with what we decide to do. Yeah. But like right now it's like 11:30. So
I get off at nights anyway, so whenever he wants to
I wake up at 5 in the morning. Yes. I don't sleep. What sleep?
What sleep?
Rise and grind, motherfucker. Wake up and secure the bag.
Yes, sir.
Jump shot therapy, boy.
We out of here.